Can you fucking believe this guy is stealing his girlfriend panties and then selling them with a photo of her on Craigslist? Are you kidding me? Welcome to Sex Talk with my mom. I'm Cam Poter.
And I'm KarenLee Poter.
That's my mother.
And that's my son.
We chat about sex on a weekly basis and all the things you typically don't talk about with a parent.
We like to make the most uncomfortable conversations comfortable.
So strap in,
Strap on,
and enjoy the ride. Welcome to Sex Talk with my mom. I'm Cam Poter.
And I'm KarenLee Poter.
That is my wonderful mother. We get to have these uncomfortable conversations once a week. And Mom, last week we tackled a really interesting question posed by one of our sneaky freak listeners, Sage, which was, what is the shadiest thing you've done while in a relationship? Cheating, lying, etc. And we got so many responses, I thought we could do a part 2. What do you think?
I 100% agree. I thought we had so many more to go, and I agree that this is a subject that it's not even out. As I was reading the question, it was like you can interpret it many different ways.
What were you thinking of?
I was thinking back to my college days when I wasn't the one that was in a relationship cheating, but my now deceased friend was dating somebody, and she broke up with him, but I guess there was like some sort of code that you don't date someone after someone breaks up with them. So unfortunately, myself and this guy named, I'll just put the first letter is K, we were kind of doing a little sneaky, little flirty, little kissy face kind of thing going on.
Fucking kissy, what is it? A flirty kissy face thing?
You know, when you're in Gaga land and you just want to just kiss each other, and there were sparks flying with this guy until the last day.
What made it the last day?
Oh my God, you're not going to even like me for saying this.
What happened?
He was a quick comer.
So you had to call things off with him because he came too quickly for you?
I gave it one other shot. It was literally not even 3 pumps. It was 1 pump. Done.
And then you said, I'm not going to help this guy out. We're not going to work on this. This is not worth it.
First of all, I was probably 19 or 20. Yeah, I was a teenager. I was still in college. I don't know. And I gave it another shot. I was ignorant. This is the whole thing. You know, children and teenagers need to learn sex early, about sex, and it's not just about the actual act of penetration. And neither of us knew that. So it was a learning experience for both of us, but I thought after the second time that was it.
There's so much to unpack here. First of all, how is your friend involved? The deceased friend?
Yeah, my deceased friend. She was alive at the time, but they had broken up, but still there was some sort of ownership of this guy.
It's kind of like what I described last week, where I was hooking up with someone, but I had hooked up with their friend before, and I just didn't want to rub it in her face.
That's what it was. And I kept listening to this Cars song. You know the Cars? It's all I can do to keep waiting for you. It was playing in the car. We're in the back seat. There's another couple driving, and the two of us were looking at each other with lust in our eyes, with our loins percolating.
And so then this guy is fucking getting all turned on. He starts jizzing everywhere. And you're like, well, he's too quick. We got to cut him loose.
It wasn't in the car. It was later on in the fraternity house.
How long had you guys been in Gaga land before
For a good amount of time, months, 3 months maybe.
3 months, and then he comes twice, and you're like, we're done.
Yeah, unfortunately. I am not proud to say it, but yes.
Do you think it would have worked out in the long run with you and this guy? Or
no.
It was just Gaga?
It was pure, unadulterated lust. He had these big blue eyes, and it was just
big blue balls.
He had big blue balls and big blue eyes. Nothing better than the big blues.
Oh, man. And now,
so anyway, that was my story.
So if it were today, would you have done anything differently?
Hell yes, of course I would have. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't be with a 19 or 20-year-old, but, the 19 or 20-year-old, when you were 19 or 20, how fast you came.
Oh, my God. It put me to shame today.
It put you to shame today? Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
I was coming quicker than I am today, which is already quickly.
Yeah, I think you have more control now, more knowledge now. You know what to do if you have this issue. And
Well, there's so many
hopefully,
other things you could do.
that's what I'm saying. Hopefully, the sneaky freaks, after listening to this podcast week after week, will get the idea that there are other things you can do for your partner who's a quick comer.
So you're telling me that if this guy knew, oh well, if I just go down on her, you would have gone for a little longer or a lot longer.
I don't know. I really don't. I just don't have an answer.
I wonder how much you're saying right now to protect my ego from being hurt.
No, it really dawned on me, this whole idea. And another question: are you a loud comer?
What?
That was another question I had.
The fuck is that question?
We had to be quiet. Maybe we'll save that up for another lube it up question.
Oh my fucking God. All right. Well,
Anyway.
I've exhausted all of my shady stories, to be quite honest. I can't remember. I remember one. I mean, one was just, hooking up with someone when someone else was in the room. We're all having a big sleepover, trying to hook up with someone. Well, you got to be a little shady for that shit,
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think about the time I did that, and there was another couple in the other room, and I wasn't cheating. Yes, I was kind of. Oh my God, it was never mind. It was a shit show. Okay, but what do you think those freaks have to say?
All right, so let's turn to the sneaky freaks. Those are you wonderful listeners. Maddie says, I've been in a serious relationship for almost 3 years now. The sex is amazing, and he mentally stimulates me more than anyone else ever has. But the last few weeks, I've had a strong urge to cheat. I don't know why. Maybe I just like sex. I mean, this is a really interesting question. I don't know. I haven't had enough relationships, so maybe, Mom, you can weigh in here. If in all relationships, you kind of have this urge to kind of explore elsewhere still.
I've been in a 24-year marriage, and 2 years before that we were dating. And I was, there's definitely the fantasy of like, is this the last person I'm going to be with, for the rest of my life? There's a fantasy of what would happen if I, just kiss some other guy.
I mean, I have this feeling I can be dating someone for a couple of weeks, and then suddenly I see a hot girl on the street, and I'm like, oh, God, have I made a big mistake? What is that? I like looking at that.
Well, you can look at the menu. You just don't have to order anything.
Is it any indication, though, that there's something wrong with the relationship or that there's...
No, I think it's frequently, it's completely 100% normal. I don't know how it couldn't be because, people are instinctively programmed to want to seek the thrill of another person. I mean, it has to do with biology, probably human physiology. We're not meant to be monogamous because if we were, that would extinct our population, maybe. Species,
maybe.
Yes.
I think it depends on the person. Obviously, there are people with different proclivities. You got asexual people. There's a whole spectrum. All right.
Thank you for sharing that.
You like that? Bringing in that little wokeness?
Yeah, you're so woke, Cam. Anyway,
all right.
But yeah, that's a tough one. It's a whole Coolidge effect thing going on over there.
The whole Coolidge effect. Mom, let's go to Cam's, not
Yes.
me Cam, a different Cam, Sneaky Freak Cam. He brought in this amazing story. I'll go for it. He starts by saying, well,
Go for it. Let's hear it.
Here it is. When I was just out of high school, I was introduced to this gorgeous blue-eyed, blonde-haired cheerleader from my buddy's high school. I spotted her while watching his basketball game and made him introduce us. As soon as we met, there was a crazy attraction like nothing we had ever felt, almost electric to the touch. So much so that she immediately broke up with her boyfriend of 3 years, who was also on the cheerleading squad. So this girl is dating a male cheerleader, I guess. That same night, she came over to my place, and we kicked it off. Couldn't get enough of each other. Every night was the same routine. We'd go pick up her favorite iced frappe, find a place to park by our town's reservoir, and we'd get freaky. I'd tongue her ass in every hole in her body like a deranged lunatic, and she loved it. It was the most delicious thing I had ever tasted. She'd ride me orgasm after orgasm, hands down, best sex of my life. I should, however, mention we did have a few pregnancy scares, but that's neither here nor there. Fast forward about a year into the relationship, and I'm having a casual conversation with her parents about where I grew up and how I was adopted and never met my biological family. They asked if I knew my biological father's name, and once I told them, the blood rushed from their face. Turns out she and I's fathers were first cousins with a little blood splat. Here's what's fucked up. Even after knowing we were related and her parents banned us from dating, we couldn't stay apart. We had such strong feelings for each other that we continued seeing each other in secret for almost an entire year. And then it cut off. Damn it.
Oh my God! How did they leave us sitting there in the lurch?
Oh
what do you
my
mean cut off?
fucking God! He just cuts off. The text message didn't come through. Holy shit!
Damn!
Oh my God!
I want to find out if they're still together now.
We need to have part 3 of this fucking shit.
Okay, first of all, we have to assume that they said they were in secret for almost a year. Did they come out of secret, or did they get married? Did they break up?
It sounds like they broke up. Is that fucking wild?
That would be insane if you found out that and usually like pheromones teach you, that if you don't like the smell of someone, it's probably because you're too close to that person.
I guess that's not always the case. You fucking get the first cousin going on here. Wait, so it's the father?
Yeah.
Hold on. It's the
biological fathers. Yeah.
Were first cousins. Okay.
It's not that close, but
it's not so close, but it's on the line. That's on the line.
It's certainly Game of Thrones worthy. That could happen in Game of Thrones, no problem.
What would you do in this situation?
Wow.
You have an amazing sex with this person, their tongue in holes. What? And then what do you do?
I'd keep fucking going. I would 100% keep that going.
And they're having pregnancy scares too.
That's really kind of frightening because you never know if you get those two. It's too similar. You have some problems with the offspring.
Yeah, the babies are coming out with 3 legs, all sorts of things.
Oh
my
man,
God,
well,
that's an amazing story. Thank you, Cam, for bringing that into this. Wow.
I thought you wanted to talk about the licking the assholes and tasting the assholes. What the hell? The most delicious thing I'd ever tasted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, the sneaky freaks write so eloquently. They all tell such great, detailed stories. I can't believe it.
I know. That could have been a story for Dipsy.
All these stories could be the stories for Dipsy.
By the way, Dipsy is an app that sponsors our show that we love that has erotic short stories. And you can get a discount at dipsystories.com/mom. How do you like that little plug?
I might add about Dipsy that they read better than you and I do. So
it's true.
It's not even just reading. It's actual
acting.
Actors acting out each of the parts. Yeah, so it's even better than just reading straight through. It's Dipsy. You got to try it, you guys. Anyway, should we move on?
Yes. We had Sage, the original person, chiming in here. She said, I guess I can answer my own question. I asked this question because I am a very loyal person and haven't done anything like this before. But the closest thing I can think of is when I was at a gas station. A very attractive man complimented me, and for a split second, I thought about flirting. I did not. LOL. What do you think about the gas station as a place to hook up with people or to flirt with people?
First of all, that is happened to one of my friends multiple times. I don't know what she's doing at the gas station. She's pumping her gas, and she's getting a lot of guys. Wealthy guys, too. She only flirts if they got, nice cars. What do you think about all this? What is flirting? Is that considered cheating if you're flirting?
No, I don't know, but I think that she was considering going further when the guy started flirting with her.
Well, I still feel like it's very innocent. But, if you start taking it further, you can get out of hand. I can tell you from firsthand experience that you don't want to open up the Pandora's box.
I've had that impulse at gas stations to start flirting with strangers. I think it's a good place.
I know. You've talked about it. You've talked about it on this podcast.
I think I've done that a few
interaction with someone.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm forgetting some of these interactions, but I remember one car wash. Oh, God. That girl had a weird name, and I forgot what it was. And then my friend, Yeah, I
Oh,
forgot what happened.
yeah.
I think my friend called her to see if she had blocked my number or
Yes.
something like that. And then,
Yes, that's
yeah.
exactly what happened. She gave you her number, and it was a fake number.
No, it
Fucking
wasn't fake.
bitch.
It was a real number, but she wasn't responding. So
Oh,
we were like, "Is this a fake number?" Then my friend called her. Oh God. All right, let's move on.
I apologize for calling her a fucking bitch, but I have done that. I've given fake numbers out just to get the person away from me.
Sage, thank you very much for this question. You've inspired a whole series. Mackenzie says, the sketchiest thing I've done, I did a background check on this guy who seemed to fabricate a lot of details about his life, and my intuition was correct. Wow. Sketchy meets sketchy.
I don't think that's sketchy at all. I think that's being protective of yourself.
Maybe she was saying that the sketchiest thing was that she found this guy who was super sketchy. I don't know. Have you ever done a background check on someone before dating or while dating?
I have definitely Googled.
But a background check.
Well, that's a little extreme, but you know what? These days you can never be too safe. I think go for it.
Gary says, Mom, the question is not about cheating. It's about the
sketchy
sketchiest thing you do. Gary says, I have gone and have cheated a few times with my friend's mom and still do. I mean, I love MILFs and moms. So long story short, I fuck all her holes good and deep.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. And his name is Gary.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Shameless.
Have you ever thought about cheating with one of my friends?
He's not fucking one of his mom's friends. He's fucking one of his friend's moms.
Friends' moms. Okay. Have you ever thought about cheating have you ever thought about having sex with either my friends or your friends' mothers?
No, I'm not a big mom guy. I think this relationship kind of spoiled me for any. I don't need any more mom experiences.
So all my efforts to get you involved with an older woman is for naught.
No chance. What about you? You doing friends' moms or friends' dads?
I have never. No, I have never. I did have one of my dad's friends kind of hit on me when I was like a teenager, which is very sketchy.
Very sketchy.
And he was married. Yeah, that was very sketchy, and he was married too.
You still remember this?
Yeah, because it was actually very flattering.
You were turned on by this.
No, but I thought it was flattering that at that point that, someone in my dad's friends would be attracted to me when I was a teenager. But
Jesus.
Again, that's another lifelong lesson.
Ay. All right, we got Katie who says, okay, crazy story. I sent dirty pics to the guy me and my current fiance had our first threesome with. My fiance was okay with it, but was upset I asked after I sent the pics, not beforehand. He's usually okay with me sending pics as long as I ask. This was definitely a mess up on my end. This caused a huge fight, and we almost ended our relationship of 4 years. Thankfully, talks, love, trust, and boundaries kept us together. Then, fast forward to 3 weeks later, and we're meeting the same guy while on vacation, and we all end up back in bed together. We're all still good friends, and all also under 22. Remember, communication is key. These are young little sneaky freaks over here.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about that?
At 22 years old, and this person's having threesomes and is married or is a fiance, and they're having good communication. I think this is good. This is great.
I think it's great too. I love it.
Love it. Talks, love, trust, and boundaries. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. Well, I have found over the years of doing this podcast with you that people that are in like these open relationships or relationships where they might bring one person in or whatever, they have to communicate a lot better than if you're just one-on-one with someone.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Most definitely. Mom, sometimes when I reflect on how much time I've spent wasted on dating apps, it terrifies me.
Insane.
It's insane not only how much I'm swiping, but how much conversation I'm having that leads to nowhere. Not even a date. This is why you need to use our sponsor's app, First Rounds on Me. First Rounds on Me is a new dating app for people who want to cut out the small talk and actually meet for a date in person.
Doesn't that make sense? You'll know immediately if it's a yay or an A.
That's right. Here's how it works. You swipe through people's profiles, and if you see someone you're interested in, you send them a date invite directly. The person will receive the date invite to their inbox, and if they accept, your date is scheduled.
Here's the twist. You can only chat on the app for 6 hours before the date is scheduled to start. And because the whole idea of First Rounds on Me is they want you to meet face-to-face and make a real connection with the person.
No one's even calling each other, Mom. It's just a waste of time for everyone, usually. But now with First Rounds on Me, they value everyone's time and connection. They prevent you from getting ghosted and never meeting people. It's phenomenal. It's a new way of dating. If you're tired of the small talk, pen pals, and playing games, First Rounds on Me is for you. First Rounds on Me is now available for Android and iOS. Head over to FROMEdating.com/mom. That's FROMEdating.com/mom, which, by the way, is in our episode's description. So just go there, click that link. You'll be able to download the app, make a profile, and get yourself a date today. Mom, do you have any nighttime rituals?
Yes, I have to calm down. And you know how I calm down? I use the Calm app.
I legit use the Calm app all the time. It's our favorite meditation app that is full of stories to improve your mental wellness. You know, they give you the tools that improve the way you feel, that allow you to get into bed and pass out with their sleep stories. You can pause your racing thoughts, Mother.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that one of the things is when you're my age and you're going post-menopausal, the most important thing to do is reduce your stress level and your cortisol. And if you listen to these guided meditations, it's going to improve your focus and have you recharge, basically. It really works. I recommend it highly. I've listened to a lot of other meditation apps and freebies, but Calm is the best.
You know, if you're on your phone before you pass out and you're scrolling, you got that blue light going into your eyes, it's not going to help you sleep. Instead, open up the Calm app, listen to one of their guided meditations. You will get way calmer, learn how to meditate, focus your mind, and pass out. For listeners of the show, Calm is offering an exclusive offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/sneaky. Just go to calm.com/sneaky for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/sneaky. The link is in our episode's description. You know, I was listening to a podcast yesterday called Strictly Anonymous, and I was listening to these, like a couple that they were having an affair with each other, and I was listening to the host respond and interview these people, and she had such compassion for them. She understood, you know, people cheat sometimes for a reason. And even though it's not
That's
a
what
nice
we
thing
talked
to
about last week, right?
Yeah, and even though it's not a nice thing to do, there's an understanding there that, you know, people fuck up and people forget that, and there can be reasons why people do this. And I thought she had such a wonderful way of thinking about this, because I think in the past I've been very closed off to when I hear, oh, someone's cheated, I immediately start judging them, but yeah, it's interesting reading these stories, and yeah, it's good.
I understand. I mean, I asked my boyfriend now, who I've been with for obviously 15 years or something, at the beginning of a relationship, if he ever cheated. He said he was in a relationship with someone and he stayed with her even though they were breaking up because her father was dying. And he said that he did quote unquote cheat then, which I don't even know if it's cheating, but I guess it is if he is not explaining this to his then girlfriend. But that's the only time he did, is when they realized that the relationship was over. Maybe I like it. I hope that both of them realize it, and not just he realized it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's hurtful, so it's not. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone. But I have more compassion now for people who do cheat. Joseph says, one time I set up a random threesome with my girlfriend and another girl, except the random girl was actually an ex who was in town visiting. Oh, could you imagine this? Could you
Well,
imagine pretending like you didn't know this third party,
yeah,
and then this was an ex-girlfriend that you're bringing into the equation?
that is very hot, Joseph.
That's some dipsy story shit right there. Holy shit.
More dipsy stories. Is it .com?
dipsystories.com/mom. Yeah, that's phenomenal. I mean, man, I would not like being the main squeeze in this situation and be the one person who doesn't realize that there was a prior existing relationship. Right. Oh my God.
That would make me feel very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable to find that out. Lisa says, I had a feeling they were cheating and found a dating site in his computer history. I created a profile and catfished him. Stupid. I should have just dumped him, but I thought I loved him and wanted to be sure. Wow. Can you imagine this?
I always agree with Lisa.
Yeah, you do. You and Lisa are definitely on the same page. You would catfish this guy?
I think I don't know what I would do now because I've been, in a monogamous relationship for so long. But if I was already getting like that, where your hairs rise on your arm feeling about something, because I follow my intuition so seriously that I would probably do it because I couldn't resist it.
Wouldn't you just break up or bring it up to this person? Why would you'd create the fucking profile and then find out?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You are
I don't know if I would, but I'm saying I could see where I would. I could see where that would be very tempting to do.
I can definitely see you doing that shit.
You would not do that shit.
No chance. I'd fucking have about 3 hours of therapy with this person and then call it quits. Colette says, I once lied that ended in a breakup. Wow. To make a long story short, the first time I was getting intimate with my now ex-boyfriend, he asked if I had been tested. I hadn't, but I said yes but I was 99.99% sure I was clean because I hadn't had sex in over a year and prior hadn't even had much experience. Anyway,
can we stop right here and say that you've been in that situation and gotten like many tests?
Yeah, that's correct. I got many tests a year and have sex maybe once every decade. Moving on, Colette goes on to say, anyway, months go by and he calls me saying he thinks he has herpes and is getting tested. Immediately, I tell him I never got tested, but I was going to ASAP. Turns out neither of us had contracted herpes, but that was enough for him to end things. Lesson learned. Wow.
Wow.
Holy shit.
God.
Wow.
Oh my God. Colette, at least you know what? You can learn from everything.
Totally. This is the type of thing where this type of lie, I think, would lead me to it would come close. I would really have to love this person if I were going to stay together with them. Because given how seriously I take.
I mean, I lied about my age by a year when I first met my boyfriend. Why? Why would I do that?
I don't know. But do you think it affected the relationship from there on out?
I mean, I've heard of situations where, I don't think it affected our relationship, but I've heard of relationships that got screwed up just because the first time they met, there was a lie. I mean, I was watching that a TV show yesterday where that happened. Said she didn't tell him the truth about being a policewoman, and he just couldn't go on being in a relationship with her.
Yeah, I think when a relationship is predicated on a lie, or when it happens very early on, it's almost like getting a splinter under your skin that becomes very, very challenging to take out. How do you like that for an image?
I love that. That wasn't even part of Camp Suppers. That is awesome. I remember, I literally, you could be a rabbi. My rabbi, when I was under the age of 12, I think I had to go to confirmation school or something. And I remember him saying that when a married couple, and when one of them cheats, it's like having this beautiful painting and having a piece of glass stuck in it.
Oof, 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 oof. Yeah.
I always wondered, well, how could a piece of glass get stuck in a painting, though?
Maybe something with the frame. I don't know what that's all about.
I kind of like your splinter idea better.
The splinter with the heat, because it grows, the skin grows over it, and you think it's okay, and it's healed. It's in there.
Okay.
That's not to say you can't take it out, but as it gets deeper and deeper, it gets harder and harder. Okay.
Eviscerate or whatever that word is.
Yep. Victor says, while in a relationship of 5 years, this was 2 years ago, I was snooping around my parents-in-law home because they had gone to vacation in Argentina. And while looking through her phone they had left, I found some nudes of my mother-in-law and kept them until I was caught about 6 months ago of having them, and got into this spectacular scandal that eventually ruined my ex-fiance's relationship with her mother and stepfather and ultimately broke it off with me before our wedding. Oh my fucking God.
Oh.
This is a doozy.
My God.
This is a doozy right here.
I just got a new Patreon member who said, do you have any nude or have you ever filmed yourself making love or something like that? And I just answered yes. I don't know why. I was just being honest. I did.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt like answering. And then he's like, oh, how do I get a hold of those videos?
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're going to have someone fucking hacking into your phone now.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, it's not going to be my phone cam. It's going to be somewhere locked up in a safe that nobody could get to.
I don't know why you always bring up the fact that you have a sex tape in your fucking safe.
I know. I feel like I'm Pam and Tommy Lee.
I don't know what I cannot tell you. I'm not anticipating your death, but hopefully many decades from now, when you pass away, I'm going to take that safe and so promptly destroy the footage in that safe. You have no idea.
It's literally like, I have a feeling that we wouldn't even be able to play it. That's how old it is. It's old.
Dust and shit on there?
I think it's, it's like one of those things that you can't, it's not like a movie file or anything like that.
My God.
Anyway, let's move on. I just thought it was funny because he was like, how do I get a hold of it? Well, not for $10 on Patreon, for crying out loud. That's going to go for a lot more money than your $10 donation on Patreon.
Andrew says, sketchiest thing I've done, jacked off with my mother-in-law's bra after she disrespected me. Oh my
God! Wait, Andrew, it's such a short little sentence, but there's so much in that. It's unreal.
You're right. Every single part of it's like the shortest sentence you can create with the most amount of load in it. Pun intended.
Let's start with number one.
He's
jacking off in anybody's bra. Okay, that in itself is weird. Okay, why are people jacking off in bras? I mean, I could see even panties, but I've never heard of bras. Okay, but then on top of it is his mother-in-law's bra. Okay, why is she even disrespecting him?
How is he getting the mother-in-law's bra in the first place?
That is very strange, and it's like
she disrespected him. So it's a revenge jerk-off.
It's a revenge jerk-off.
That's like what is that 6-word story that ended up like fucking baby shoes never worn. Now, what is the fucking, you know what I'm talking about? So I feel like
I do not. It's a haiku.
6-word story. Hemingway's 6-word story. This is for sale, baby shoes never worn.
Okay.
It's like the shortest sentence you can have with the most amount of story involved. This is what I feel like Andrew just provided for us.
Thank you, Andrew.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. You've never heard that 6-word story from Hemingway?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Moving along.
I like Hemingway.
Well, this is a very depressing story, Mother. For sale, baby shoes never worn.
Oh, and he had a lot of cats.
Okay, why do you bring this up?
I remember going to Hemingway's house and he had a lot of cats.
All right, moving on.
All the cats had like 3 toes or something like that. They were all like they all had incest and jacking off all over the place. Jeez. And who knows what's going on.
We're going to finish with Jeff's submission. This is what Jeff said. Back in college, I would sell girlfriends' panties along with a Polaroid photo of her on Craigslist. She doesn't know, but I would always buy her new lingerie and panties, which she loves. Win-win-win, right? Paid for my college, smiley face. I should have invented OnlyFans. Are you fucking kidding me?
Jeff, that is beyond shady.
This takes the cake for the shadiest fucking shit that we've heard.
You win.
You win.
Jeff wins.
Bing,
bing, Jeff wins. Winner, chicken dinner.
Can you fucking believe this guy is he's giving his girlfriend panties and then selling them with a photo of her on Craigslist? Are you kidding me? What would you do if you found out someone was selling your panties without your knowledge?
Okay, first of all, I would be livid. Second of all, I would want I want to get a portion of every one of those things. I want half. I want more than half. I don't know what I would say.
Also,
it was actually it's a brilliant idea. I just wish I was included.
How did she not realize that she was like shedding panties? Like he's constantly gifting her panties and her drawer is not like filling up, you know?
That is really weird. That is a strange thing.
You paid for his college? That's a lot of cash. That's a lot of panties that were sold. Wow.
Jeff, that's a sneaky little freak thing to do.
That is a sneaky fucking
thing.
thing.
And that ends our segment.
Thank you very much to all the sneaky freaks for chiming in there with your fucking sneakiest, shadiest fucking thing you've done. Damn. You put my stories to shame, I'll tell you that much.
But I appreciate all the details, and I loved hearing these stories. And if you want to participate in our next Sneaky Freak question of the week, this is what you got to do.
That's exactly right. Give us a text at 310-356-3920. Just look in the episode's description. All of them start with our number. Just give us a quick text, and we'll get you on that list. Mother, what's going on in your life? You want to give us a little update?
Well, I don't have a lot going on, except that I did get a guy that I had a little funny, I shouldn't even say funny, it was kind of disturbing email exchange with. And I thought I'd share it with the freaks today.
Let's hear it.
This is from Scott. He emails me and says, "You are beautiful and amazing. Please let me know if you get this." So usually I ignore those, but I don't know. I was in a benevolent bored mood or whatever. So I decided to answer him and say, "Got it, thank you."
Oh, God.
Which I thought was very nice.
Okay.
He asked, all right. Then the next email I get says, "Any chance you are looking for a submissive male?" I answer back, "No, thanks."
Oh, God. What is this conversation, Mother?
I just want to let him know I'm not looking for any submissive males.
Okay.
And if I was, I probably wouldn't go to someone that's off of the internet that I've never met before.
Well, maybe.
And then no, I would not. What do you mean maybe?
I don't know, maybe. People meet on the internet all the time now.
Okay, I'm not looking for anybody. I'm in a committed relationship, and I'm not looking for someone that out of the clear blue emailed me.
Okay.
And then he said, "I would pay all your bills." Ding, ding, ding. Well, now we're talking, because I have a wedding I got to pay for soon. So I'm interested.
Can you imagine if we fucking show up at this wedding? We're like, it's a gorgeous wedding. We're like, who paid for this thing? Oh. One of Mom's submissives.
Yeah. It's okay. So I instead decided, well, if he wants to help out with the wedding, whatever, just join my Patreon page. So I give him my Patreon page, and he does not join it, but instead he emails me back again. And it says, "Would you be interested in a cuckold?" What the hell?
Oh my God. You should not have. You've opened it's like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop with this guy.
Yeah, I opened up Pandora's box. So I did not answer anymore, thinking that's the right thing to do and he'll go away. Nope. Today, this all happened the last couple of days. I just got another email today saying, "Hey."
Just hey?
Just hey.
Oh, hey. He's just trying to keep the conversation flowing.
Apparently. Well, anyway, that's it for what's going on in my life. All the excitement you can just imagine, you know.
Oh, wow.
This is the first year This is the first year I didn't dress up for anything besides for how, usually I like to dress up as something skanky and prostitute-like, or, I like to dress up as my inner stripper or something. This time I decided I didn't want to do anything, but I also wanted to go out on Saturday night and pretend like I'm like part of the Halloween celebration. So I put on every animal print item of clothing I could find.
Oh,
like
my
boots,
fucking God.
Jackets,
the
sweater.
ultimate cougar.
The ultimate cougar, but it wasn't even a cougar print. It was more like a leopard print. But I
And
couldn't
were
even
people
find
commenting?
the cat ears, so no one commented. No one gave a shit. They didn't even notice.
Oh my God.
But I even had You did that too?
I got I don't know if you saw, but I got the fingernails painted for this Halloween.
No, I did not.
Yep.
What color?
They got black. You can't see me right now. I'm gonna zoom with you. Black and white, black and white, black and white, like a piano keys.
Oh, that was kind of cute.
They try to take a little mime motif, you know.
Yeah, that's very original with a piano keys. So
they're
what else besides painting your nails did you do?
Oh, I've been doing all sorts of gallivanting around Buenos Aires.
I like to interrupt for a second.
Yep.
Lately, when you've been speaking to me, you're taking on a pretentious Spanish language. You know, you're not even like trying to be like regular Spanish that I learned in school. You're trying to just be like a Buenos Aires. You know, you're trying to be mysterious or something.
The fuck are you talking
What's that all about?
What the fuck are you talking about? What is it? What are
you
you
don't
talking
answer
about?
me. You text me. First of all, I don't hear from you in like a week. And then you text me all in Spanish. Like I'm like fluent or something.
That's me being pretentious?
Yes, you're being pretentious.
I'm
so cool. I know a Spanish language and you don't. And not only do I know Spanish, but it's a Buenos Aires Spanish.
First of all, are you referring to the fact that I just confirmed with you by forwarding a message that I received from the recording studio here to you saying that we're good to go?
No.
I'm not texting you in Spanish.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
not even
you
talking.
have been.
No, I'm not.
Buenas noches.
No, I'm not.
Gracias. Yeah, you are.
First of all, I'm not texting you those things.
And the few times that I speak to you, you are speaking in a very select dialect.
You are so wrong. So wrong. I do not speak with the Porteño accent over here. I did like this comment that we got, though, from someone who said, I listened to Cam and your podcast, and you're both so wonderful. My father is from Chile, so I always imagine him something like Cam's father. How sweet is that?
Oh, I know. That was so sweet. And anytime anyone listens to our podcast and sees us on TikTok or any of this YouTube, please comment, because we love hearing that that our podcast is getting out there through different means. I'm very excited.
Another guy, Neil, says, hey, I just want to say that I love your work. It takes some of the stigma out of the past incidences for me, and it's really comfortable to watch you guys do what you do. Have a good day. Thank you. Fucking sweet as that, Mom.
I know. This is not even a hit on or shit on statement. These are just
it's love on.
Straight up love on. Love on. Hit on, shit on, or love on. We got 2 love ons. And I like the way the first guy said his father's from Chile. He didn't say Chile. You would have said Chile.
I don't know where you're coming up with this shit. I do not talk like this.
Yeah, you're talking in the Spanish accent.
I'm not talking in a Spanish accent.
All right.
Mom, is it time for Mom's News?
Mom's News.
Mom's News. Mom's News. Mom's News is a segment of the show where my mother shares earth-shattering, groundbreaking, need-to-know info. Mother, what do we got this week?
Oh, this is from the Miami New Times.
Oh, boy.
A very popular magazine that I've subscribed to.
Miami. How do you find this shit?
I find things, I research. I care about our podcast, Cam, which is more than I can say about you.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Cam. This is called 5 Freaky Sex Acts You Probably Didn't Know Existed.
Okay, let's hear it.
Very similar to what we were talking about earlier. Pheromone parties. Here's one that's definitely happening in Miami. In fact, this sexual activity is established enough to have its own website. The rules: wear a cotton t-shirt for 3 days straight and then seal it in a bag.
Oh, yeah.
Guests take their marked and sealed bags to the party, where they are all placed on a table. You spend the evening taking whiffs from each other's bags until you find a scent that makes you feel a bit frisky, and then you make contact.
Wow. With the person who you took the bag from.
Right. And what happens after that is up to you. Would you like to go to one of those parties?
You know, one of our Pleasure podcast hosts, the host of Body Storytelling, her name is Dixie De La Torre. She's been on our show. She does these at her live shows where instead of a t-shirt, though, she'll put the fucking panties. You put your panties, when you get to the party, into these bags, and people sniff the panties. And then you try to find the person.
Okay. Would you do that?
No, I think the panties are just too much for me. Oh. The
So you
panties.
like the T-shirt idea, though.
The T-shirt I can handle. Yeah,
I actually think that's fun.
It's a fun thing. It's a fun thing.
Then you know if the pheromones aren't going to work, that it's not going to work.
Mom, do you have one more freaky sex act that you want to share with us?
I'm only going to do one more. It's called Lemon Party. It's been mentioned on 30 Rock and The Simpsons and in Superbad. The term originated from lemonparty.org, a website that featured a video of 3 octogenarian-looking males getting it on. It has now come to serve as the term for senior citizen multi-partner sex romps. We feel that the octogenarian orgy has a much nicer ring to it. What do you think of that idea?
Are you ready to have your own lemon party, Mother?
If I was single, I don't think I'd want to. I don't think I want to.
The lemon party. I remember seeing that video when it came out, actually.
What was it like?
Yeah, it was exactly that. 3 old men romping around, naked.
Would you like that?
You know how I feel about old people. I'm into them. I love them. I hope to be one. I can't wait till I'm an old fuck.
Can I read one more?
Yes, you can read one more.
Pony play. Okay?
Okay.
You know a sex act is official when it requires gear, and gear we found in abundance. Pony play entails one partner taking on the role of a pony, including but not limited to being fed carrots, wearing a saddle, and wearing a tail, which naturally hangs from the end of a butt plug.
Oh, my God.
What do you think of that, Cam?
The pony is expected to whinny, gallop, and otherwise do all the other cute things that ponies do, plus some things they aren't. Wow. I don't know if I'd get into the pony play myself, but I can see how people can get into that.
Remember we had a whole episode about My Little Pony as well?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
The Pony Bros.
We've been doing this podcast a long time when we've already done pony things.
We're coming around to the pony play. Anyway, thank you for that mom's news, Mother.
I'm not going to go on any further. If anybody wants to read further, go to the Miami New Times.
Thank you so much for keeping us abreast of that mom's news. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, and I'm guessing that we're going to get some really stimulating content coming up right now.
It is time for the most stimulating play that you can imagine right now. The time where you put in your butt plugs, those with the get on your saddle, start eating those carrots. It's time for Cam's Uppers.
Cam's Uppers is the place for me. Fun living is the life I see. It's Cam's Uppers.
Cam's Uppers, the segment of the show where I get to share something near and dear to my heart, something that my mother typically finds
nauseating.
Or?
No, just kidding. Fun.
Or?
Arousing.
Why it takes you so long to come up with these words, Mother? It's Cam's Uppers.
No, it does not.
Cam's Uppers. I was thinking about humility this week.
Why this week?
I don't know. It came up in conversation with the people I'm on this trip with, and someone said, humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking about yourself less. God, I love this shit. What do you think of this statement?
What are you on a trip with a bunch of Buddhists? What is that?
Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking about yourself less. So it's not like having lower self-esteem. It's about not putting yourself in the picture over and over and over again like we typically do. What do you think?
Wow.
I think this is wonderful. I
actually like it. I actually find it to be very stimulating.
Exactly, because it could sometimes feel like, someone with low self-confidence or who is not so prideful is humble in his humility, but it's actually not the case. It's the person who doesn't interject all the time, the one that is willing to allow things to unfold without them having to be constantly in control and involved.
Do you think that I have humility?
Sometimes. Why you're smiling so big right now? Do you not think you have humility?
I would have completely thought you would have gone, I don't know about that.
Sometimes you do. I think sometimes you can let people take the lead.
And what about you?
I am extremely humble.
You actually are. You're not all that prideful.
All right. Well, we've reached the end of the show. This is
What happened? That was the end of Cam's Uppers?
That was the end of the Cam's Uppers. Yeah, that was all I
actually
had.
wanted you to go, for the first time in my life, wanted you to go on further.
No, I think I've got it ingrained now that I have a very limited time. I got to make the most of it with Cam's uppers, and that's about it.
Oh, all right. I can see that. You're very humble of
Very
you to do that.
Yes, of course. I want
Said
to
with a lot of humility.
I want to thank everyone who's made the show possible, especially the sneaky freaks on Patreon. You guys keep our lights on. You allowed me to record in this awesome studio in Buenos Aires right now. And if you would like to join us, please send us a gift at patreon.com/sextalkwithmymom.
We would love it. We really would appreciate it. And you have a lot of bonuses if you join, besides just knowing that you did the right thing. And don't forget, if you really would like to support us, check us out on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram at Sex Talk with My Mom. Follow us. You don't want to miss out on these hilarious little clips from each of the episodes from the past.
I agree. And Mom, do you want to sing them out?
And let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and having some humility.
That fucking worked. That's why I kept it short and sweet, so you can remember the fuck I was even talking about. You nailed it. We love you guys.
I love you, son.
Bye.
You were listening to a Pleasure Podcast. For more from our Sex Podcast Collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.